All right, so I'm going to show you how to make a resting pan or resting pan, the same thing, splint pattern out of paper towels. The first thing you want to do is you want to find 2/3 the length of the forearm. So you've got the wrist to here, and I've got this to here, and this is, I'm going to mark it. I'm estimating, I'm eyeballing it. You don't have to get a tape measure and measure it, but it needs to be 2/3 the length of the forearm. You can always cut off the extra, but you can't add it back on if you don't make it too long, long enough. Okay, so if you're gonna err on the side of too much. All right. Then you need to mark the wrist, where the wrist is. You need to mark where the end of the thumb is and where the MP of the thumb is. All right, and then mark where your fingertips are. All right, so you got all that marked. Here's the way, there's lots of different ways to do this. So each person here may show you a different way to do it. We all have our own style. I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, and it's going to be different from the video you already watched. I roll up the paper towel and I trace the forearm because the splint has to be 2/3 the length of the bone, right? It has to be half the circumference. Circumference means all the way around. Half the way around is here and here, and also in the fingers, half at the fingers, half at the thumb. So splints are half the circumference and 2/3 the length. All right, so I'm gonna dip in a little bit at the wrist because the wrist is gonna bend on some of the splints, and you'll end up cutting that off if you don't take a little bend in there. All right, so I'm gonna come up about 1 inch past the fingertips, all the fingertips. If you have on long nails, then make them 1 inch past the long nails, okay? And then I'm going to come all the way down in the web space where the thumb and the index finger is. Are you still with me? All right. Now, let me draw the other side of the pattern. All right, when you get to the wrist on this, you come in. All right, I'm going to take her hand away, and where I marked where the thumb is, from the tip of the thumb to the MP, that space, however long that is, I'm going to transfer back this way. So here's the web space. So this is going to transfer back to here. And the width of your thumb is usually like 1 inch, 1.5 inches. But you can look at like the web space here, like how far in that comes. And it's about it's about 1 inch or 1.5 inches, 1 inch or 1/4. And so this is the part that confuses students because it's spatial. So you want to take this thumb and you want to bring it in like this. All right. So this one's, I'm just eyeballing it. It needs to be a little bit rounder. So all the edges should be rounded. You don't ever have little square dog-eared patterns or splints. All right, questions so far?
On the right side where the thumb is.
This one or this one? This one? This one? This one? Come and show me.
This.
Okay, all right. So I took the length of the thumb from the fingertip to the MP. I brought it to the web space, that length, and that's how I determined how long the thumb piece should be. All right. Take pair of scissors right behind you. Okay.
I can grab something else.
All right. I just had. Oh, perfect. These are the right ones. I'm left-handed, so if you're left-handed, look for right-handed scissors. Yes.
In the video, there's something with the web in between the 2 fingers here. Is that something that we need to do, or is that something?
Like I said, there's lots of different ways to make this.
Okay.
Whatever makes sense to you.
Okay.
Okay. and fit. So I'm gonna cut the pattern out. I'm gonna show you how it would fit on a person. So I'm just gonna round all the edges. Come in at the wrist a little bit. Do any of you like sew or work with materials? If you'll probably have better spatial relationships if you do that. That you may have worked with patterns and that type of thing before. So what we're looking for when we approve your patterns are, we're looking at 2/3 of the length of the forearm, and we're looking at half the circumference, and we're looking at does it fit the person? So this can fit either side. A lot of times when I worked in the burn unit, you make intrinsic plus or safe position splints for both hands. So you can flip it so that it fits either hand. So you want to fit it this way or the other. All right. So let me flip your hand. All right, let's do this first. So, all right. So if I bring this pattern up, it's at half the circumference of her forearm, at least. I'll have to trim it a little bit. Goes in at the wrist. It's wide enough for the fingers. And then if you flip it over, the thumb goes this way. Let's see, flip it over a little bit more. All right, so the thumb goes that way, and you have half the circumference of the thumb, and you also have, past the tip. All right, and this gets rolled back a little bit here at the thenar eminence to support the wrist, but that gets rolled back. All right, that's it.